and welcome. My name is Sweden and I'm an Inner Circle member of the Guild Rebel Serenity. I'll be guiding you through various aspects of Galactic Starfighter in this Introduction to Galactic Starfighter video series. Now last time where we left off was in the hangar where I just started the tutorial level by clicking the tutorial button on the top hand right side of the hangar window. As matches can be rather volatile, the tutorial level over here is better suited to show you how flying in GFS actually works. Tutorial levels normally give several annoying power-ups, but I've already flown around a bit, so we won't be interrupted. Okay, so let's move first to the heads-up display. It's fairly intuitive. In the very center over here we have the targeting circle, which is the direction you're flying in, and allows you the best possible shot. The bit larger circle over there is the log-on circle, which allows you to perform missile locks, which we'll talk about later. And the very large circle over there is the focus area, which allows you to spot and focus on enemy players. Now on the left hand side of the focus area we have the yellow bar, which is the weapon power, and on the right hand side we have the engine power bar, which is purple, and next to that the speed gauge, which we can demonstrate later. Now on the left button over here we have our ship. As you can see, we are currently in completely green, which is good, which means that we're fully healthy. When you take damage during a match, you move on to yellow, then orange, red, and finally you're dead. Top over here we have our front shields and back shields, which are also green, which is good. Next to that we have our power management system, which I'll talk about later. And over here we have our active abilities. Over here we have the abilities that we can activate during a match. Your ship specific ability, shield ability, engine ability, and crew skills ability. And your primary and secondary fire. You can all activate these with quick buttons. Over here we have a map grid from letters A to E and numbers 1 to 5. It shows the player, the one emitting the circles over here, that's you. And you have over here in green your friendly players and in red enemy players. Top hand side over here we have the current target, which I'll talk about later. And over here we have our map statistics showing the time, the score of the enemy team in red, the score of your team in green, and the position of the satellites, which also I'll talk about a little bit later. So let's on to the next part, moving. As I've already shown, you can move around your ship and focus on where you're pointing by moving your cursor around within the focus circle. If you move farther away from your target circle, which was the small one in the center, you move farther, so moving just slightly above it moves subtly, moving faster to the sides moves quickly. You can also tilt your ship by using the D button and the A button, and even perform a full loop to execute some more complex maneuvers. Now if you want to move, there are basically 5 different speeds. The lowest speed, which is standing still, can be done by pressing the X button. So let's speed up a bit. As you can see, the speed gauge is increasing. Pressing X once will completely stop your ship. If you want to move slow, you can press and hold the S button. And if you release it, you just fly normally. So now I'm not pressing any buttons. As you can see, I'm at normal speed. If you want to go full speed, you press W and you move the fastest available. Now you have another speed, the fastest one, which is your boosted speed, and you can do that by pressing the space bar. And as you can see, this also drains engine power. The other speed times do not drain engine power, but boosting does. Every time you activate the boost, it takes away a chunk, and then when you hold it, it takes away a little bit more. So now that we've talked about this type of flight, let's talk about one more type of flight, which is the strafing, and this is best shown when I'm next to an object. So strafing is moving sideways, and you can do that by pressing and holding the shift key and a directional key. And you can use that, for example, to move from or behind cover. So let's talk about the next part, which is the enemies. The enemies are displayed in your map over here in red. Green ones are friendly players, and as you can see, there's no friendly fire, but there is fire on the enemies. Enemies are displayed in red, and you can select them in 3 possible ways. When you press the tab button, it moves towards your closest enemy. So when I select a different one, press tab, moves to the enemy that is closest to me. When you want to select an enemy that is in front of you, so in your targeting circle, you can press the E button. And even behind objects, you can still select them. If you've taken fire and you want to know who hit you, you can also press the R button to select the person that hit you last. Now when an enemy is close by, as you can see here, there is a red circle around its center. It means it is within your firing range. And when you fire it, you can destroy it. The one over there has a grey circle around it. It's too far away, currently 9,000 meters. And if I fire it now, it doesn't do any damage. But once I get closer and move within the 5,000 meter range, 4,000 meter range, you can see that it is within that blaster range and can actually do some damage. Now the fire that I'm currently doing is my primary fire, and I activate it by clicking the left mouse button. As you can see, it's draining my weapon power when I'm doing that. You can also do a secondary fire, which is your missile lock, and you can do that by clicking and holding the right button when the enemy is within range. And when I do that, you can hear that it starts bleeping. Once it has completely zoomed in, and the arrows move into the center of the targeting circle, that means that I have full lock in. And once it does that, the bleep bleep bleep, it means you can release the right mouse button now to perform the secondary weapon attack. Now this doesn't work again when the enemy is out of range. You have to be close enough to actually perform this kind of attack. So let's finish this one up. Next thing I want to talk about is the abilities. So as I already mentioned, they're over here, and you have your specific ship ability, which differs based on the ship type and the special that you have selected. Your engine ability, which you can activate by pressing the 2 button, and as you can see, it puts a shield around my ship, which protects me from some damage. You have your engine ability, which are 2 different types. You either have your maneuvers abilities, like this, which performs a 180-degree spin, or you have boost abilities, which gives you a bit of a bonus in the engine part. And finally, over here, you have your crew skill ability, which I talked about last time. When you have a co-pilot selected, you get a specific active ability, which you can activate by pressing the 4 key, and gives you also a small boost in some areas. Like I mentioned before, we also have a power management over here. When I'm shooting, or when I'm flying with the booster on, you can see that my weapon and engine power are being drained. Currently my power settings are balanced, which means that over here my weapon, shield and engine power are all balanced. By pressing the F1 focuses on weapon power, and as you can see, I can shoot longer than when I'm balanced, and it also drains or regenerates faster when I have this selected. Pressing 2 allows me to get the boost on my shield. As you can see over here, my outside shield is currently stronger than when I do not have this selected. And the same goes for engine power. When having F3 selected, which activates your engine ability, or activates your engine power settings, you can fly longer, and it regenerates engine power a lot faster than when you're balanced as this now. So always advise, when you're flying, press F3 to use your engine power. When you're in combat, either have F1 selected when you're firing, or F2 when you're under fire. Okay, so last part I want to talk about is the match goals. There are basically two different types of matches available in Galactic Starfighter. There are death matches and there are domination matches. Now, death matches are matches that exist entirely just to kill the enemy. First team to reach 50 kills in total is the one that gets a win. The second match type is domination, which involves these things over here, which are satellites. You can also see the statistics over here and over here on the map. The goal of domination is to fly close to a satellite that is currently unguarded in order to capture it. As you can see currently, these things over here are white, but when I fly closer, I get a green circle around me. And if I now look at the satellite, you can see that these antennas over here are partly green. When they are completely green, it means that I've captured the satellite, and then it starts getting points over here. And the more satellites you have, the faster you're getting points. Basically, you get 1 point per second per satellite. First team to reach 1000 points, which also includes again kills, wins the match. You cannot capture a satellite if you're too far away. As you can see, there's no green circle around me now, or if there are enemy players or enemy turrets around it. An enemy satellite, and also friendly satellites, generates up to 3 defense turrets, which fire at you if you're on the opposite side, and prevent captures. So you first need to destroy all enemies and all turrets around the satellite in order to capture it. So now let's fly closer. As you can see, I again get the green circle, and now I'm capturing the satellite. And as you can see, it's getting points now fast. This being the tutorial level, point gain is a lot faster. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it, and I hope I'll be able to release more of these tutorial videos later on. In the meantime, safe skies.